Good afternoon. Yes, it's good evening, not afternoon. It's been a busy day for me, that's why. How are you? Welcome to Soni Irabor Live. Yes, my cap is not here, trademark is gone away because sometimes I like to look different. And lately, I think I've been playing with that. So the choice is yours. But I hope I look good enough for you to understand everything I say because today we're going phenomenal. Now, what is phenomenal? It's a very powerful word. But you see, there's a group of people that believe that that word means a lot in terms of positive expression, showing integrity, leadership by example, trying to talk to the world and let them follow you and also identify with the things you represent. Now that's phenomenal. The thought alone is phenomenal. And I have two phenomenal people in the studio. They're both in the medical practice in their various or different fields. The first is, and the only lady, for that matter, is Dr. Ify Nwakwesi. Short is Dr. Ify Nwakwesi. And she's an integrative medicine practitioner. She's also a cell revitalization, that's a mouthful, cell revitalization, stress, nutrition, and special development specialist. Okay, and then in a nutshell, integrative medicine specialist, Dr. Ify Nwakwesi. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, Nigerians.
And then we have Mr. Jude Onoh. Jude Onoh is a Pharmaco Medical Consultant. Now, Pharmaco, that's pharmacy. Medical, that's medicine. So you can see that we are looking at things in a phenomenally different way. We want to now dig deeper into what all of these mean to a human person. What's the society like today? I'll let you know in a moment, but let me welcome both of you to this studio.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us here.
The phenomenal person, simple title. Dr. Ify, phenomenal person.
Being phenomenal
Yes.
is being the best version of yourself. I think that being phenomenal is a life-breathing experience. It's a constantly managing yourself in such a way that you are operating at your best.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, Soni. God has made us human beings to be phenomenal because we do have a phenomenal God. We pray every day, we read our Bible every day, but God has already answered all our prayers. He is just waiting for us to activate God's prophecies in our lives so we can become phenomenal people. We can operate at our best standards. It is actually a journey. It's actually a journey.
Yeah.
You start it and you continue on an everyday basis, constantly improving your spiritual life, your mental, emotional, and physical life, so that every day you're doing something to improve the caliber of who you are and get to your next level, being your best and giving your best back to society.
So what I've seen here, spiritual, very important.
Yeah.
You haven't mentioned medical yet in that sense.
I've said physical.
Physical, okay. Physical is medical, okay, fine. Physical, very important as well. And then, of course, interactive, dealing with human nature,
Yeah.
human person, and other friends. All right, let's go to Jude. Onoh.
Yeah, it's very critical to understand that being phenomenal is a deliberate decision that you have to make. You know, and it's a journey, like she said, and you have to be deliberate about it. You have to make up your mind that you want to be different from the pack. And as such, you want to be exemplary in the things you do and the way you appear and the way you're perceived generally. You know, because you are, for instance, you're a mirror for people to see what's going on. And by the time you admire the way you're packaged and the way you present and the way you express yourself during a society, it's something worth emulating. So it's making a deliberate decision to be the best you can ever be.
This sounds very timely because I'm very critical of the Nigerian people.
Okay.
When I say critical, I'm not insulting the Nigerian people. I'm just saying they've relaxed too much to the point where they look at things more negatively before the positive. And what you are pushing here is actually positive, right?
Yes, positive mindset.
Yeah, positive mindset. So how do you now redirect or reorientate that human person in Nigeria to start looking at himself positively?
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Sonny, the issue is that many people are going around with negatively programmed mindsets. And you know, the human being starts from a spiritual balance.
Okay.
You need to, first of all, have a belief I am a Christian, so I believe in Christ and in God.
Okay.
And that is how you have to start your day. When you start, you work on your spiritual balance, then you have to also proactively work on your mindset. Because your mindset is so, so critical. You can pray all you like, but if you don't reprogram your mindset from negative to positive, you're going to be thinking the same way, feeling the same way, acting the same way, and using words the same way, and actually disempowering your life on a daily basis.
So if I say, how are you feeling today? You say, why do you ask? How do I say that? Because that's a very common trend in our life.
That's right, yeah.
You know,
If you ask people how they're feeling, they tell you, I'm managing.
okay,
So they're,
again, that's another
they're
one.
continuously going to be
Helpless.
managers. I'd rather say, I am phenomenal. And once I say that, my brain is beginning to be reprogrammed.
Okay.
Positive affirmations actually help you to reprogram your brain. You start thinking differently. Because we all wake up focusing mostly on the negatives. That is actually what is incapacitating most of us. We focus more on the negative things in our lives.
Is our lifestyle, is it responsible for this seeming generalization of negative attitude on the part of Nigerians?
No, well, the pressure is an integral part of society in the first place. We can't
Is that pressure not self-imposed?
Well, you can add to what it's in the society in the open. As a matter of fact, there's some pressure that is almost palpable. You can feel it. You know, it can be financial pressure, it can be emotional pressure, it can be all sorts of pressure. People suffer these things from time to time every day. But then it depends on how you react or respond to this pressure. You must be able to develop some thick skin, some kind of insulation from this pressure, you know, and how, you know, you actually position yourself towards the pressure. It's what we're talking about being phenomenal. You understand? Because you can't separate yourself from the pressure in any case. But the point is, how do you handle it? How do you deal with it? Pressure can't kill you in any case. Pressure can only, you know,
Destabilize you a bit.
Well, destabilize you, but then you can as well bounce back, as a matter of fact, as it were, you know, because pressure will come and go, you know, and new pressure will come in any case. So for each pressure level you go through, you get stronger. You know?
Let's bring your medical practice into this. I'm sure when you consult with people, you see a lot of anomalies. You advise them, you will medicate them, you know, I'm using that word verbally. What do you see? Give me a bit of statistics. Probably it doesn't have to be 100%, I'm just saying. How do you look at the average person you see medically?
Well, the issue is that many people know about conventional medicine.
Okay.
That is what we're used to in this country. That is dealing with health issues merely from the conventional point of view. But you know, as an integrative healthcare practitioner, I look at health in a holistic perspective.
Okay.
If a client comes to see me, I'm going to be looking at his spiritual life. I'm going to be looking
And
at
you will
his
discuss that
mental,
with him?
and of course,
Okay.
We have a questionnaire that they fill,
Okay.
and we go through all those aspects of their lives. Because you know something, Soni, once there is an imbalance in one aspect, it's definitely going to affect the other states of the body. So it's better that people learn that their physical ailment could have a mental and emotional element. It could actually be a spiritual imbalance. And so it's better to go through all his issues, discuss with him, let him tell you his relationship, what it's like, his marital issues, his financial issues. If somebody, for instance, has high blood pressure, it's not just enough to keep giving drugs and say, go away. I need to discuss with him to know why the person is having the high BP in the first instance. Is it a relationship issue? Is it a marriage? Is it that he doesn't even know stress coping skills? Because if you don't know stress coping skills, you're going to be worried over everything. Everything in your life is going to be a worry point for you. And you will not even know how to be able to manage yourself. Everything will be overpowering. You will not be able to cope with your challenges. So I take it in a holistic perspective. We also look at illness from the roots. We deal with illness not merely by signs and symptoms. We try to find out the root cause of the ill health, try and educate the person what he needs to do. It could be lifestyle modification, it could be dietary, it could be mental and emotional management, it could be healthy fitness exercise, it could even be lack of water that is causing the illness. And most of the time we also look at toxins, acidity in the system, low immune system, weakened immune system, and all those kinds of things. And we try to educate the person and teach him or her what he needs to do to reverse the illness. I'm not saying we don't use drugs. Sometimes we use drugs, but mostly we look at lifestyle and look at how we can support the person nutritionally so that the person can reverse the ill health.
I have three types of people. There are those who say they don't touch medicine at all because they believe medicine should be the last resort.
Mm.
There are those who say, something that will kill somebody, let me just carry on with it. There are those who just have to depend on that medicine because their mindset is already geared towards medication as the solution. In this society, we have all of them, and maybe more. I'm wondering if I look at somebody who comes from a negative background, meaning every time he talks or she talks, it's from a negative perspective. Then I look at him or her and wonder, can that person ever change? Is it possible that such a person can change?
You want me to take that?
I want you to take that before I
Okay.
get back to him. I have a question directly for you.
Okay.
Soni, changing your mindset is actually the principle of kunai.
What's that?
Kunai is a Japanese word.
K what?
Kunai. That is
K-U-N-A-I.
C-A-N-I. Kunai. That's
Oh,
how it's
okay.
pronounced. It
All right.
pronounces like K.
Sounds English. Okay.
Kunai is actually the miracle, the Japanese miracle. It was actually formulated by a man called Dr. Deming. And if you know that the highest prize in Japan is the Dr. Deming prize, because everything they do is constant and never-ending improvements in all areas of their lives, their marital lives, their relationship, their work. In Japan, they are trying on a daily basis to improve the caliber of everything of who they are and improve their quality. If a Japanese guy does something today, tomorrow, he's going to make sure it's a better quality. So what we teach people is imbibe the principle of kunai, constantly and improving the caliber of who you are, so that every day you are doing something that makes you a better person than yesterday.
Mr. Onoh,
Yes, please.
are Nigerians kunaiable?
Yes, Nigerians can be. But remember I started by saying that everything is deliberate.
Yeah.
When you choose to. If you understand your present status and the way you are accepted in society and you see that the society thinks you're thinking negatively, from everybody else, that calls for some self-examination, some introspection to ask yourself, which areas of my life do I need to attend to? As a matter of fact, one might think that because of the pressure in society that Nigerians are reacting to the environment.
I think they are reacting.
Yeah, they are reacting to the environment, no doubt about that. But within that same confusion, you can still go placid, and look inwards, and don't allow this pressure to knock you off balance. That's what we're saying here. How are you able to maintain a stable keel, in the midst of all of this storm, as it were? It's possible. It's possible. Because as a matter of fact, pressure doesn't kill. Stressors don't kill you. Are you getting my point? If you know how to cope with stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a short break. When we get back, we'll look at what he just said. Pressure doesn't kill, but how do you relate pressure, medicine, and lifestyle? We'll come after that. We'll begin to address the positive mindset of being phenomenal. I'll see you later.
Make your event a memorable one with captivating and well-organized event center at Lagos Television's prestigious Blue Roof with a capacity of more than 3,000 seats and a fully air-conditioned 750 seats combo hall capacity. Suitable for annual general meetings, government functions, exhibitions, religious activities, wedding ceremonies, burials, musical show, and many more in a well-secure environment. Spacious car park, uninterrupted power supply, and impeccable facilities. Take advantage of all of these at affordable rates.
For inquiries, please call 0808-252-8742 or 0802-282-9898.
Lagos Television Event Center, a tasteful event center for your delight.
Yes. Okay. So, mindset, medicine, and what was that I said? I've forgotten the word.
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Okay. Fine. So no.
Yes.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Medicine. You are a Pharmaco Medical Consultant.
That's
Jesus,
right.
That's a powerful one.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
It's not even the mouthful. It's the fact that there's Pharmaco there.
That's right.
There's medical.
Yes.
And you're consulting into. Nigerians tend to believe too much in medicine and medication.
You think so?
Well, I see that happening.
That is true.
Okay.
So,
I just wanted the reaffirmation to be sure that.
oh,
Yes.
okay. No,
Yeah.
but that's the impression I get. I may be wrong. But then, how do we handle that or manage that? And what should we really be doing? Should we be depending on medicine or changing our lifestyle?
Well, to a large extent, everything starts from the lifestyle. Because medicines are used to manage degenerative health situations, as it were. So it's an afterthought, you know, that, hey, I can't cope with this anymore. Can I see a medical expert who will probably put you on medications, as it were, you know? But you're not condemned to medications in any case if you're able, you know, to live an appropriate lifestyle, if you watch what you eat. You know, a lot of times, you know, we eat foods that, and the time we eat those foods, we eat foods that mostly, you know, make our systems acidic.
I see.
Yes.
Eating habit and that
Yeah,
issue, eh?
yeah.
Okay.
So that's a problem, you know. But you know, these days, especially amongst the elite class, there's a lot of consciousness now about what people eat, how they manage their diet, and particularly at what times of the day they eat. They're more health conscious. Exercise is an integral part of managing lifestyle, you know. And exercise does not necessarily mean you must go out there to the bridge to run or go out there to the highway to run, you know. You can even exercise in your bedroom. But what it means is, you know, apply some discipline, you know, and exercise yourself so that you can sweat it out, as it were, you know. So even getting enough sleep, you know, getting enough sleep has a lot to do.
Exercise,
Yeah.
eating habits,
and getting enough
Sleep,
rest.
right?
Yeah.
Sleep
Yeah.
and rest, okay.
Has a lot to do with it. You know, if you're able to achieve a good balance to some large extent, you know, so the extent to which you introduce medication to your life will be reduced, as it were. So you might just be exposed to using supplements, you know, what we call supplements, which are not really hardcore medicines, you know, just to support. A lot of times
and they're
they
not
call-
injurious, are they?
well, to a large extent, most of them are derived from vegetable sources or natural sources, and they are safer than those chemical entities that are, you know, formulated in laboratories that people use to manage such chronic ailments, you can say, you know. Yeah, so
All right,
that's it.
let's go to now human relations a la marriage. Parenting, being a good husband, being a good wife, coping with the stresses that you've been talking about in your marriage, and then looking at how children are, managed or related with in this whole process. Let's start with the lady herself. The mother of the
Sonny,
house.
I'm very excited about this question because relationship and marriage is very, very important to me.
Okay.
I think that in the society, there are lots of troubled relationships and marriages. And I think it's because we didn't quite bring up our children in a way to make them understand that relationship and marriage is actually mindset. When I say this, I really, really mean it, because I see a lot of young people that are having relationship and marital issues and unnecessary bickering and quarrels. They can't even understand what's going on. It's basically because they have not managed to take control of their thought processes. First of all, it starts from a belief system, their thoughts, their feelings, the decisions they take, the words that they use, and their actions on a daily basis. So whatever thought that comes into the brain is accepted as gospel, is accepted as if it is real. Sometimes they don't even question that thought process. Does it make sense for my life? Does this thought process make sense for my marriage? How does it empower it? But they keep thinking it and they begin to use words and bring
So-
what is called negative energy in the family.
Okay.
And then one of the partners begins to be separated. They begin to get angry, and there's a resentment, and a disconnection occurs.
So, what do you advise should be applied? You know, you've
What-
identified the problems. How do we cope with
What
those
I
problems?
advise is that every young person or even older people should start getting information, read a lot of books, listen to audios to reprogram the mindset so that on everyday basis they can begin to change their perspectives about life, because your perspective might not necessarily be the right one, but you believe it. So if they do that and they begin to reprogram their brain, then they begin to think differently. They begin to think empowering thoughts. They begin to believe in an empowering way to empower their marriage.
Empowering
So
thoughts
what I
and-
was trying to say there
Yeah.
is that it's a constant and everyday improvement.
Okay.
You wake up every day, you say you must read at least a page of a profound information that is going to get into your brain and begin to reprogram it so that you begin to think differently. It's actually an art, but in our company, we have strategies that we can teach the young people to imbibe so they can begin to think differently and empower their marriages.
People get married, then they fall apart, and in no time the marriage just ends, and they don't know why, they don't know what caused it, but everybody is keeping to his own side of the divide. So Jude, how would you relate? We are all adults here, we are the advanced ones, but those who are coming from behind,
Right.
what do you advise them to do? And those who are even at our age level, what do you think, should they manage their situations that they seem not to be able to control?
Well, I think society is transmuting, it's changing a lot.
Transmuting, I like
Yes,
that.
it's changing a lot as far as marriages are concerned. You know, the understanding of marriages of today, are not same as what it was back in the days. So, prospective couples go into marriages with different understandings of what they're going into. They don't quite have a profound understanding of what they're going into. As a matter of fact, marriage, for those who are Christians, is a sacrament. And it's not.
And you can't abuse it in any way.
It's not meant to be, a walk in the park. It's serious business. So there is a preparation towards going into marriage, and I think that's where a lot of people miss it. That preparatory stage, because in preparing to get into marriages, it's not just about the couple, especially within an African context. It's about the families, that come from diverse
But young
cultures.
people are beginning not to look at it that way.
Yes, so that's the foundation of the problem. Because they are separating themselves from what it should be in our own culture. A lot of people are looking at the Western style of marriages. That's what we're beginning to get today. That, oh, well, she's a superstar because she's married successfully to, hear my word, married successfully 3 times. And she's come out super rich,
So,
So you want to understand
a marketing business.
it was an investment, as a matter of fact.
Investment,
Yeah, But I've seen marriages in Nigeria that I think the shortest I saw was they packed up in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. I went out there to the reception and 2 weeks after, the hair was over.
Okay, guys, I want to let you know that the phones are actually ready for you. Just call us. I think the number will be on the screen if it's not already there. And we'll take your calls. We want to know how you are managing your situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? Marriage, your lifestyle, your medical lifestyle, your physical lifestyle. How much of exercise do you really take? So you can do it in the bedroom too. And that water, we'll come to water.
Yeah.
Water, what is water for the body and to the body?
Well, water is a very, very important constituent of the body. In fact, when we were in the medical school, we were taught that the solute part of the body is much more important than the solvent. But later years, we're learning that the solvent is so, so critical. And lots of people are going around with dehydrated bodies because most of the bottled water they bottle for us are acidic. So when you drink
Say that
acidic,
again?
yes,
Say that again?
most of
the
our
bottled
bottled water,
Uh-huh.
they are usually acidic. They are alkaline. Their pH is in the acidic range. So when you drink water that is acidic, the molecular structure is not microclustered. So it doesn't easily enter the cells of the body. So you'll be drinking water, and yet you're not getting water into your cells. And you can take as many nutrients as you like.
We have a caller.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Good evening.
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes. What's your name?
Christina.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lagos.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just
Can you talk into your mouthpiece because your voice is not very clear?
All right, I've been watching the program and I enjoyed everything that Ify has been saying there. I'm a hypertensive patient. And when she said, when somebody comes to her, that it takes time to look into the person's spiritual, physical well-being, and otherwise. I think that's a very good point that she made.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
I want to say you're doing very well.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank
Thanks
you so
Program, I
much.
just stumbled onto it, but I mean, everything that I've heard is true. I try to improve on my hypertension every day, try to do things that make me not to get worried, because the only thing that really triggers me is worrisome. Once I get worried about anything, I don't sleep, I have to go on drugs. But because I have also known that that is my problem, I try to avoid everything that makes me get worried, and my situation has been very improving.
That's
you.
fantastic.
Thank you very
phenomenal.
much
That's
indeed.
phenomenal.
Yes.
You know,
Thank
well,
you.
that's the word. We haven't used it too much.
That's phenomenal. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Okay, more calls are coming in. Yes.
So I was talking about water. So really, the water that is all over the place is usually acidic. Those
but
kinds
where
of
can we get cleaner, less acidic water?
well, there
fresh
are
water?
there is a I can't start mentioning specifics,
don't mention.
Yeah.
but
okay.
there are equipments that you can use to turn your water from acidic to alkaline, and then the water will be very antioxidant rich,
Okay.
and it will have a lot of hydrogen molecules, and that kind of water gets into your cells and gets the job done. If you drink a lot of good water, you'll have more energy. Some people that are having fatigue and low energy is actually dehydration that is causing it.
Dehydration.
Yeah.
Even when you look fresh. Maybe well-bodied.
Sonny, if you're dehydrated, you will never look fresh.
True.
That's why you look at a lot of people, their lips look so dry, their
Hey,
skin is
whoa.
wrinkled.
Sometimes mine are dry.
So
You look a bit
If
if
Scratch.
you're
scratchy.
dehydrated, you're not going to
Yeah.
you're not going to look
So,
radiant.
Okay, what's the average drinking habit? You know, how many times should we? How many pints or bottles of water should we drink in a day?
About 8 glasses a day is fine.
8 glasses.
8 glasses.
So 2 every 2 hours.
Well, just as you're at your convenience, but 8 glasses generally every day. But I drink loads, much more than that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good evening. How are you? How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay.
Please, I'm live on your
Yes.
program, and I'm very, very interested about the program.
Thank you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Ibrahim.
Okay. From.
I'm calling from Oshodi, Lagos.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The challenge I have is I want to know how much seasoning do we actually need in our meal. Does it have to be over seasoned? Because at times I don't know if it is because of the tiredness I usually feel on my feet.
Okay. Okay. That's a good question. All right, we'll answer you right away. You can drop now. Thank you very much. Seasoning.
Well, I don't quite recommend a lot of seasonings for your food because you know most of the seeds have this
MSG.
monosodium glutamate,
Yeah.
which is very dangerous for the body. So I try as much as possible not to use a lot of seasonings that a lot of
Seasonings.
seasonings that are in the market.
Yeah.
I actually prefer that I use a lot of natural herbs, and they're sold all over the place for you to put in your food, and it can still taste quite nice.
Natural herbs.
But what I like to say to Nigerians about their diet is the typical Nigerian diet is not bad, but we've got to include vegetables and fruits to our diet because I think we eat too much acidic diet. We eat too much acidic food. So we need to include a lot of vegetables and fruits and make sure that we get enough alkaline, water-rich foods in our diet. That's the only thing I'll advise Nigerians about their diets. And if you eat a food and you begin to feel funny, maybe you're having some sensitivities to that food. You might need to look at that food again. See whether you can do elimination, stop it for a while. If you feel better, you know that food is causing you some sensitivities.
And you don't take it at all?
You don't take it anymore.
There was once you said something about carbohydrates. Are we taking too much carbohydrates, or are we balancing in our food enough?
I think that we typically take too much carbohydrates.
Most of our diet.
Typically.
Yes, we do. Our diet is too much of carbohydrates. And we
So
we
how
you
can
know,
we
we
balance
eat mostly cooked foods in this country. Most of our food is cooked. And you know, Sonny, cooked food actually causes acidity in the blood.
Hey, whoa.
It does. And in an acidic environment, you do not oxidize your food for energy. What you do, you ferment it. That is why there's so much gas.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Give me your name and where you're calling from. Go ahead.
It's Paula.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to ask how we can get our water alkaline.
You can't run away from that. How can we get the water alkaline? Okay, nice.
Well,
Thank you.
what the easiest way I can tell you to get alkaline water is through the clay pot.
Clay pot.
Do you know the clay pot that our older generations used to use? If you can get your hand on that and put your water in it, you're going to have energized alkaline water. But if you can't do that, you can call me and I can tell you how you can get it at an affordable price.
I am told that clay pot, before the refrigerator came in, clay
Yes.
pot was the refrigerator.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
wow.
correct.
Okay. All right. Jude,
Yes, please.
as a pharmacist, what do we take too much medicine at all? Because I'm told, and I'm being careful here now, that some of our medication really ought not to be taken as we take them. And I don't want to mention names.
So are you saying that we're not...
Alkaline water, I've been taking it for years and it's really good. You know, it helps your...
Go on.
It helps you health-wise.
Okay.
It helps you health-wise. And if you can keep to your diet and the alkaline water, hardly you fall sick. It has really, really worked for me.
Okay, good. What's your name? And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lekki.
Lekki. What's your name? Oops, okay.
we lost her.
Good. But she's calling from Lekki.
Sonny,
That's a good one.
I want to take Jude. Jude is a
The
pharmacist.
question?
Yeah.
I'd like to take him on this. I've always been discussing that with you, Jude, you know.
Yeah.
My take is that Nigerians are taking too many prescriptive drugs.
Too many
Once
prescriptive
you go to the
drugs.
hospital and there is a diagnosis, the next thing is a medication. What we are saying in the integrative healthcare world is that it shouldn't be so all the time. I'm not saying that drugs are not necessary. Nigerians, what I'm saying is that drugs are absolutely necessary when it is needed, but not always necessary. There are other methodologies that are there that you can use to fast-track recovery from illness. And that is what the integrative medical care doctors are saying. And there are also so many nutritional products, science-backed, 100% organic natural products that you can use to support the individual so that he can fast-track his recovery from his ill health. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't take drugs. Sometimes drugs are necessary. But I think we're over-medicating this country.
Okay,
Jude,
well,
what do you have to say
well
about that?
there's a place for prescriptive medicines, you know,
Yeah.
when they are properly...
Please keep that point. Don't lose it. Yes, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you? What's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
My name is Miriam. I'm calling from Nicole.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
And my question is, I'm the kind of person that when I'm maybe angry or something, I don't really take it from my mind. Is there anything I can do to, like, take it out from my mind? Because at that moment, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. So is there anything I can just do?
Okay. You bottle up a lot of things when you're offended. All right. Just wait and let them talk to you, okay? All right? Yes, doctor?
To answer her question?
Yes. And then we'll now go back to you.
Okay. Anger management. You know, everybody is entitled to be angry. That's a human response
I like that.
to certain situations in our environment. The challenge is you do not stay angry for too long. How you are able to get yourself out of the angry state to a stable state. That is what matters. But you know something? Anytime you are angry, there's actually a neuro association that goes into your brain. That particular brain cell, that particular neurons in the brain gets even more hardened. So as you continue the habit, you continue increasing the trunk line in the brain. So it becomes a trunk way to that habit. You can't change it easily. Okay. Isn't it? It's difficult for you to change. So what you've got to do is to begin to read books that can teach you strategies for deprogramming your mindset. And there are also audio tapes you can listen to deal with anger management. And if you call, I can help you with that.
Good. And for those of you who may not be able to read, it's pure and simple, listen to words of wisdom.
Yes.
Right? Read Proverbs, Psalms.
The Bible.
I'm not a pastor, but common sense, come on. No. Hello, Abekola. Hello, good evening. How are you? Okay, I know you're okay. All right, so that was a good one. Fantastic.
Thank you.
There was a question we threw at you
earlier. About the fact that Nigerians were over-medicating,
Yes.
Now, there are different dimensions to that conversation. You see, there's a place for prescription drugs. When you're ill and you see a medical personnel and you're diagnosed and you place the prescription. Where I have a problem about over-medication is where people begin to abuse the medicines afterwards without recourse
to the man that
to the medical consultant. Yeah, okay. They can just walk into a pharmacy shop with the empty pack and say, "Do you still have this?"
Many of us are guilty of that.
No, quite a number of people are guilty of that. But there's also but beyond the medicines, the conventional medicines that people patronize, there are also these roadside hawkers who carry drugs made from various countries here and there. We don't know their origin and where they come from. People also patronize these people a lot. And
what's the role of the government, the enforcers, or those who are the regulators, who are supposed to ensure that, look, I don't want to see medication on the street or in the market, except in a designated, qualified chemist or drugstore or hospital or clinic. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, but you just see people going, they just go and be buying things for themselves.
Well, I think part of it too is the economy.
Okay, they said we should this time off. So let's quickly, 30 seconds. Let's go phenomenal again and remind people what they should be doing with their lives.
Well, people should eat right. People should sleep well, have enough rest. People should work hard and also work smart, but then ensure that you have adequate rest. Then you must take supplements, as it were, but have a balanced spiritual, emotional, and physical lifestyle, as it were. Because everything emanates from the spiritual, that dictates and rules the emotional, right? And then the physical aspect you must do because you must work. Yeah. Don't fold your arms anyway.
Including that, you include the marriage bits into your own.
Well, my advice is that you try to improve the caliber of who you are. Where you are is not your best. God has put you on a throne like a queen or a king. Sit squarely on your throne like a queen that God has ordained you. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't shortchange yourself by your mindset. Try and improve your mindset on a very everyday basis so you can become the masterpiece ordained by God. That is my advice to Nigerians. It's a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual thing. So take it all in a balance. Don't leave any behind. Thank you.
As for me, all I'm going to tell you is if you see someone without a smile, give him one of yours. The lady that said just now, when I'm offended, madam, when they offend you, take a deep breath, count 1, 2, 3, and say, oh my show, God forgive you because I have forgiven you. That's one. Number 2, please, you are not always right. Reason with others. The point they are making might be the catalyst for the problem that you have at times. Let's just give ourselves a chance to exhale together and be phenomenal. Thank you so much, Dr. Ify Nwakwesi, Mr. Jude Onoh, or should I say pharmacist Jude Onoh, and broadcaster Soni Irabor here saying good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.